There are several different treatment options for people with ADD and ADHD to help them improve their focus, their concentration. One of the most common treatment methods is through medications. So, pharmaceuticals like Ritalin, Adderall are commonly prescribed to people with ADD and ADHD. However, these medications don't address and correct the root cause of ADD and ADHD. They can be habit forming and addictive. They can also have negative side effects, unpleasant side effects. And they are stimulant drugs, amphetamines, some of them. So a lot of people and parents prefer and are currently looking for non pharmaceutical treatments for themselves or for their children. So that brings us to the second option for treating ADD and ADHD, and that would be psychotherapy. So the goal of psychotherapy and how psychotherapy would help one with focus and concentration issues is by teaching them coping skills. So where they can learn to cope better with the difficulties that they're having focusing, concentrating, paying attention, completing tasks, and so forth. Unfortunately, psychotherapy also doesn't address and treat the root cause, just how to cope with and handle the difficulty with the brain's ability in focusing and concentrating. Then there are services that address and correct the root cause of ADD and ADHD. The first of which is neurofeedback training. So, and when we think about what the root causes of a condition like ADD and ADHD, the root cause is an impairment and dysregulation in brainwave functioning. So we have different areas of our brain, and we have brain waves that are moving in each of the different areas of the brain on a 24/7 basis. There are different frequencies or speeds for each of those brain waves, and there are optimal frequencies for each of those brain waves. In a quote-unquote healthy person who feels well, functions well, doesn't have any issues or symptoms, that's a sign that all their brainwaves are moving at their optimal frequencies. The reason, the root cause, why one experiences difficulty focusing, paying attention, concentrating, completing tasks, is that one or more of their brainwaves have become dysregulated and is either moving too slow or too fast. That's the root cause. So what neurofeedback does, it helps teach or train the brain to regulate and optimize those brainwave patterns that have become dysregulated. So let's say that someone, for example, and just this is a very simplistic example because it's usually a lot more complex and complicated than this, but let's say we have an individual who's experiencing ADD type symptoms, and the root cause of that is a certain brainwave that became dysregulated and is moving too fast. So what that means is what the neurofeedback is going to be doing is teaching the brain to slow down that fast brainwave to its slower optimal speed. When the brain learns how to do that and starts doing that on an ongoing basis, the person's going to be feeling and functioning much, much better. They're going to have a lot easier time focusing, paying attention, concentrating, completing tasks. Neurofeedback training works very, very well. For most people with ADD and ADHD, it works fairly quickly as well, within a matter of a couple of months. So that would be one, probably the best way of treating the root cause of ADD and ADHD. So you might be wondering what causes the root cause. So what causes that dysregulation and impairment in brainwave functioning? So that can be a number of things that can cause the dysregulation of brainwave functioning. Most common, so for most people, it has to do with how we're fueling and nourishing our brain. So for most people, the reason for that brainwave dysregulation is malnourishment and inflammation of the brain caused by suboptimal nutrition and digestive dysfunction, which impairs the body's ability to absorb nutrients, which causes the brain to become deficient in certain nutrients that it needs in order to function optimally. And Another digestive issue causes an influx of toxins and inflammation into the body and into the brain. So, for many people, the root cause of their brainwave dysregulation, which is the root cause of ADD and ADHD, is malnourishment and inflammation of the brain.